There are hidden areas in Spider-Man 2 that heavily hint at future DLC, and we got some big teases from Insomniac as well. Let's start with a newly discovered location that seems to tease a new enemy faction. It's located in the middle of Upper West Side, so over here on the map, where you actually also encounter the Spider Bros photo op on the roof. But we want to head down to street level to find a mysterious room. While you are not able to enter it, there are a lot of interesting things we can spot here. This room was discovered by a gamer that's cool on TikTok, by the way. We'll link to their page in the video description. But yeah, for starters, the giant red flag outside kind of stands out, as do the red markings that can be found multiple times over in this area. There's also a weapon rack showcasing that this is probably a gang hideout, as well as a strange lantern and a skull on the table. To make it even weirder, you can walk around the block and enter a bookstore directly behind it. The strange red marking also appears here, as does this strange red painting, and if you peek through one of the bookcases, you can actually spot the strange gang-related room we were just in front of. Which is really strange, as there are only a handful of buildings we are actually able to enter, so that makes me believe we're supposed to enter the gang hideout in the back at one point. Finally, there's also this metallic goat skull in the bookstore, giving the whole place even more of an evil cult vibe. And well, I'm not the only one who caught on to that, as a lot of people have been speculating that this room hints at the involvement of the Hand, a clan of ninjas that also worships a demon known as the Beast. Again, the weapons on display definitely hint at the location being a gang hideout, and the goat skull, the weird lantern and the skull on the table, and the red markings definitely fit the theme of a demon worshipping cult as well. I'm still a bit confused by the markings though, as I could not find an existing symbol that matches it. So maybe it's Insomniac's original design for their take on the faction. If you know what it's supposed to be, let us know in the comments, but at least the rest of the clues fit the profile of this cult-like clan of ninjas. And even in terms of game mechanics, there's something strange going on with this room. There is a weird line on the outside of the building that will knock you down when you try to wall run or climb past it. Normal climbing is possible on the wall next to it though, maybe also hinting that there is more going on here. And if this theory turns out to be true, and this location indeed teases the arrival of the Hand, I think there's something even bigger we can expect. Because if the Hand are involved, there is a very big chance that we will also finally see Daredevil step into the spotlight. There have been a lot of clues towards Daredevil's existence already, but the biggest hint we got is what senior creative director Brian Intihar said to IGN.
Nelson and Murdoch's sign is gone. Is that intentional, or is that just, oops?
That's a good question. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Yeah. Good find though.
So very interesting. If it was nothing, he would have said that. And stay tuned basically means that there will be something related to Daredevil in the future. And we've of course found more pieces from this puzzle throughout all the games so far. During the first Spidey, Peter can find a business card from Murdoch while he ponders how a blind man could have figured out that he is Spider-Man. That already confirms Daredevil knows about Peter/Spider-Man and should be able to locate him if he needs help. Miles also mentions Pete's lawyer friends when completing the Marco's memory side activity, and Peter actually mentions them as well. While we're not sure if they are referring specifically to Murdoch, it could be a sign that him and Pete are still on good terms. And there are even more DLC related hints. Of course, if you liked the video so far, be sure to leave a like to let us know, and subscribe to not miss out on future Spider-Man videos. But yeah, why has the Murdoch sign been removed while it was there in the previous game? I personally think it's removed because we'll get to meet Matt in a different location, presumably a new office. There is an eviction note on the door, which means they could have also been kicked out, but the note was already there in Spider-Man 1, so I don't know how relevant it is. Then there's the fact that we also have more Easter eggs in the sequel that are related to Daredevil Villains. While Spider-Man put Wilson Fisk in jail at the start of the first game, his criminal empire shows no signs of slowing down. A cutscene in Miles Morales already hinted at Kingpin's continued activity, but now a new Fisk Tower was built after the previous one was replaced by the Baxter Building, as noted by WHA in our comments. And in Astoria, you can find this sign for the company Union Allied, which was used as a front by Fisk to hide his criminal activities in the Daredevil series. And with both Spider-Man of course occupied by the threat of Kraven, I think Murdoch has been keeping a very close eye on Mr. Fisk's business ventures. But I don't think Fisk will be the main villain if we indeed get a Daredevil DLC. That will obviously be the Hand, which means we would kick off the first DLC with a new enemy faction and a new ally to team team up with. Allies are already a lot more involved this time around. We might even see Murdoch appear in the open world to help us with crimes after completing the DLC as well. But I'm personally even more interested in the Hand as a potential enemy faction. Them being a clan of ninjas should mean a fast and agile group of opponents, potentially with traps and or smoke bombs to distract and disorient you. But one unique trick the Hand have up their sleeve is the power of resurrection. Through their connection to the beast, they are able to bring people back from the dead. And this is heavy speculation on my end, but I can definitely see that being used in a similar vein to some of the Court of Owls enemies from Gotham Knights. We might even see some of our past foes like Scorpion return from the dead for a boss fight against the classic foe with Spider-Man 2's more involved boss fight mechanics, but again, that is just wishful thinking on my end. And maybe we get new locations to explore in the future as well, right Jordan?
Yes, this is very interesting. You can namely explore some out-of-bounds areas that are completely rendered and include real-life landmarks that Insomniac designed, but if you don't use the glitch, you would never see them. So why design them? It's pretty interesting. So I'm right now at the east side of Astoria, so that would be over here on the map. I'll tell you how to get there in a second. And they can, for example, spot 2 rockets and some colors on the ground. This has to be the Hall of Science in Queens, which would be at this location in real life as well. A bit harder to recognize because it's not completely finished yet is the Flushing Meadows in Corona Park, but you totally see that this has to be that, right? Now, I've never been here in real life, so let me know in the comments if you like, for example, know what the stadiums in this area could be. There are a ton of blue tennis courts. I did look those up and they should be in Queens in this area. There's a soccer field, but I'm not sure if we can also find one in the main game already. Otherwise, why design one for an area we cannot explore? And there are other sports areas as well. And it's pretty crowded here. Seems like some people are going to watch a match or something. The same is the case for the unexplored area of Brooklyn, where it's also pretty crowded with a lot of cars and people on the street. Now, there are also totally weird things happening here that make it far from finished, but it is also strangely functional, while the out-of-bounds areas in the previous Spider-Man games looked way worse. Like in Spider-Man 1, for example, we could not travel to Brooklyn and Queens, but there was also a glitch that lets you go out of bounds and they could also still reach it, but as you can see, it was just a town of blocks. Clearly just made to have something appear when looking out in the distance. Now, there are totally still these block town areas in Spider-Man 2 as well, but it also makes the more functional parts of the out-of-bounds areas more interesting. And it's overall kinda weird that they appear blacked out on the map, but that you do see kind of the buildings on the map as well, while of course for other out-of-bounds areas it's just a blur. And again, I can't stress how weird it is that someone at Insomniac designed these landmarks after the real thing. Why do that if no player will ever see it? Unless it's of course for future content. So if you want to go here, you start over here on the map on the train track, just walk across the rails, and then at one point you will see a turn back notification. Then slowly go back, and just before you would see that message, which is before the second rail track on this bridge, you want to wait for the train, be pushed by that train so they can get past the turn back notification. Make sure that the train grabs you, that you at one point stand on it, and now you can just jump and make your way to that potential DLC area. And it's smart to surf and then double press X to do your web line, and then surf again and just rinse and repeat. That's the fastest way to traverse the water. Of course, let me know your theories in the comments down below, and if there will be DLC, we will be the first to tell you. So subscribe to not miss that. A like on the video would be awesome. And of course, at the end of every video, we look at your amazing Spider-Man 2 pictures. You can send them to our Discord. I will leave a link to it in the pinned comment. Go to the picture channel, accept the rules, and then maybe you will be in the next video selected by Joyce. Hey, Joyce.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Let's start with Nickname, who is checking out the streets of New York while Spider-Man the cat is chilling in his backpack. Still one of my favorite suits for Miles in the game.
So this person is Nickname? Called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool shot, cool shot.
Moving on to IMTMP, who took this absolutely stunning shot of Miles checking out the city from his own created webline. That took some effort, for sure. And my favorite of the three is from Mr. HVK, where the Spider Pals, aka Harry and Peter, take on this hunter enemy together. The timing on this shot is just perfect, as they both kick his ass.
My favorite main mission, maybe, of the game. Kind of crazy to say, maybe. But I loved it. I loved it. Really, really cool. Of course, subscribe. Check out our previous video with like the ending explained and more things where the game could go in the future. And for now, we will speak to you soon. Goodbye.